Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to start a new and a fresh topic, okay, that is industries in India. So in this video we are going to discuss, before that students, please subscribe my channel and don't forget to press the bell icon also. So in this video we are going to discuss the topics based on the reduced syllabus, and this video will be based on the importance and classification of industries. So industries is very important asset to the country because it leads to the development of the country, the economic development of the country. Now what is an industry? Now industries is an unit where the raw materials are processed into finished goods. Now for example, in order to obtain sugar, okay, we need a particular unit where we can process the sugar cane. Now that particular unit is known as industries. Now the use of machine first started in Britain in the mid of 18th century, in the 18th century. So that was the beginning of the industrial revolution. So industrial revolution not only helps in the self-reliance to become the self-sufficient, but also helps in bringing more amount of foreign exchange to the country. Now importance of industries in India. Now agriculture country like India, okay, now the population is on the rise of our country, isn't it? So we need more amount of employment facilities, but agriculture is not been able to provide employment facilities these days. So for that reason we need a rapid industrialization which will provide us more amount of employment for like opportunities, and it will also support the agricultural base. So in the long run it can attain a great degree of self-reliance, and we can become one of the strong economy in the world. Goods required for the sectors like agriculture, power, health, education can be produced in the country itself. Decentralized industrialization. Now decentralized industrialization means the growth of industries in every part of the country. Okay, if only one part is industrialized, then that particular part or corner of the country will only develop. So decentralized industrialization help in the balanced growth of the country. Industrialization helps in maintaining favorable balance, that is the more export and less amount of imports. More export, less imports means more amount of foreign exchange to the country. Then industrialization also helps in improving the standard of living by giving the people better purchasing power and also better employment opportunities. So students, this were the importance of industries in India. And now let us discuss the classification of industry based on the labor, raw material, ownership, source of raw material, and other types or the miscellaneous industries. So students, let's start the classification with the based on the labor. So we have large scale, medium scale, and small scale industries. So large scale industries, as the name here suggests, okay, the large number of workforce is required and more amount of investment is also there. So for example, like cement and the iron steel industries. Medium scale, now neither too big nor too small. For example, paper and small textile industries, okay, where the investment is also low. Small scale, relatively less number of people and less amount of capital is also invested. For example, jewelry. Now nowadays the government is emphasizing more upon, like more on the small scale industries. Okay, now why they are doing so is because it will provide a large scale employment in the rural areas. Now with that it will lead to the development of rural sectors, and also it will provide the employment opportunities which will also lessen the like migration of the people to the city areas. Another one is the decentralization of industry, which will help in the balanced growth of the entire country. Okay, so on the basis of the source of raw materials are four types: agro based, mineral based, forest based, and animal based. So agro based, the industries which like gain their raw materials from the agriculture, for example sugar industries. Mineral based industries which are depend on minerals for raw materials, for example iron and steel, aluminium, petroleum. Forest based industries procure or like derive their raw materials from the forest, paper industries, furniture industries, etc. Okay, now another one is the animal based industries, which are depend upon the living beings or on the animals. Okay, for example, silk, woolen, dairy, leather, etc. This animal based is also known as pastoral based industries. So on the basis of raw materials, just now we have done is the source of raw materials. This is based on the raw materials. So heavy industries, for example, iron and steel industry, where the quantity is also used, bulky, transportation cost is also very high. Okay, and the finished products is also very heavy, whereas light industries, they require less and cheap raw materials, and their quantity is also less, weight is also less, and their transportation cost is also less. Okay, for example, toys, small electrical appliances, etc. Now students, we will study on the basis of the ownership. So on the basis of ownership, four different sectors are there: private, public, joint sectors, and cooperative sectors. Private, totally owned by the private entrepreneurs like Tata, Iron and Steel, Infosys, Reliance. Then public sectors, these are completely owned and managed by the central government, public utility like Indian Railways. Okay, next is joint sectors, which is owned and like managed by the government and private sectors together. Okay, for example, Maruti Udyog Limited. Next is cooperative sectors. In this cooperative sectors, it is run by the like large numbers of members together. Okay, that is known as cooperative sectors. Let us discuss the classification based on the finished products and services. So key or the basic industries. Okay, now most of the industries are dependent upon other industries. Now that industries will become the key industries. For example, iron and steel industry. Okay, now from a small safety pin to the large ships are made from iron and steel. So all the other industries are also dependent upon the iron and steel industries. So that becomes the key or the basic industries. Consumer or secondary industries. Now the finished products are directly utilized by the consumers like paper and textile. Public utility are best, where here the finished products are not produced but services are rendered. For example, public health, education. Okay, ancillary industries means the support industries. Okay, all the industries means all, for example, automobile, they will not like produce all the parts in the same industry. They will bring the parts and assemble in that unit. Now that smaller industries which produce the smaller parts is known as support or ancillary industries. Village industries, based on the village. Okay, raw materials are derived locally, for example, pottery, handloom. Cottage industry is also run by the household members and locally resources are used. For example, the woolen and the carpet making in Kashmir areas and all. So with this we come to the end of the video, and in the next video we will discuss the agro based industries. And students, please like, share and comment on the video. Thank you for watching.